program. And then one left here recently, and he got out of law enforcement, went to the Walmart Distribution Center. So we've hired 8 certified, 3 already certified. Two of them came from Mobile. One retired from Mobile, came to from Mobile to work here. And then we sent 5 to the academy so far. We have 3 that just graduated, and then we had the 2 from previous. So we have actually processed 32 certified applications throughout the year. All 32, we've only gotten 8 out of them, 8 good hires out of that. Now, good hires is, how long would they stay with us? I am happy to say the last 3 that we sent through, the class president came from the City of Enterprise Police Department, and the top of the class, and that was Wyatt Wyman. So that's a pretty big deal. Another officer that's in there, he was a squad leader. That's a big deal. So we're hiring good, solid applicants for the city. I have 7 females and 6 different minorities in my department, but we're still looking for more and more and more because, as I've said before, our department needs to replicate the community that we serve, and that's my goal. So as dispatchers, we've had 3 leave in 2023, and 0 continued in public safety. Nobody went and worked for another department. They just got out of dispatching. And then we hired 5, and like I said, 1 is in the hiring phase, and we'll start another one at the beginning of the year into the hiring phase. The hiring phase, remember, is we do backgrounds, full backgrounds, psychological evaluations. The police officers are even more in depth than that. Anybody that gets hired on goes through the same exact hiring process, and that's psychological evaluation. It's a polygraph, and then a full and complete background investigation that normally takes about 2 months to complete. So, and that is the staffing. Is there any questions?
Any questions?
No, you got 3 more headed out in January.
That's correct. Right? Yes, we have a female and 2 males. They will start January, I think it's the 14th, they'll go to the academy. And then we'll open up applications again in January for the May academies.
And assuming no other changes, by the time they get back from academy, where will that put us on our vacancies? Will they go straight to patrol division?
They always go straight to patrol for at least 2 years, and then they will start applying. But it's kind of a revolving door. Once they get into patrol, I can move some of my senior officers out of patrol and put them in corporals, which is criminal investigations. So they're just filling in the bottom, getting trained, and then those go to other promotions with their experience.
So it won't. You've got 4 vacancies in patrol, but you'll probably still have 4 vacancies in patrol because you're going to
no, sir. Hopefully, by mid next year, I won't have those vacancies anymore because I'll promote in January, February, or March for corporal, but then I'll hire more to come in, and they'll just add to that one. So when they go to CID, they stay in CID. So.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. But patrol is the heartbeat of the city. That's what runs everything here. Everybody else is support staff, to include myself. We support patrol to do their job, so that's where they all go.
All right. Any other questions of Chief?
All right.
Thank you. That was very helpful.
Thank you.
All right. We've got a request from City Attorney to go into executive session regarding legal issues and economic development. Anything else, Rainer, those 2 items? Jonathan, you aware of anything else?
No, sir.
All right, so I will entertain a motion to go into executive session regarding legal issues and economic development.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I expect we'll be going for approximately 20 minutes. We'll return here. We won't discuss anything else in work session, but we will adjourn from work session and reconvene in our regular council meeting at 6 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got 6 o'clock, so I will call this meeting of the Enterprise City Council to order. Let the record show that all members of the City Council are present. If you will, please stand with me for our opening prayer and pledge of allegiance. Mayor William Cooper will lead us in our opening prayer.
May we pray. Most gracious and heavenly Father, we will thank thee for this day and the many blessings that bestowed upon us as we gather this afternoon and doing the business of the city. What we're doing is for the progress of our citizens, trying to make this a better place in which to live. Bless our audience, bless these council members and their families. Give us life, live it, and pursue of happiness. These are the blessings that we ask in our Son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Council, you have the agenda in front of you that we discussed in the prior work session. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
I move to approve the agenda of the meeting as submitted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll now consider the consent agenda. All matters listed within the consent agenda have been distributed to each member of the council for review, are considered to be routine, and will be enacted by one motion of the City Council with no separate discussion. If separate discussion is desired on an item, that item may be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda by request of a member of the City Council. I now call for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, I'll now recognize Mayor Cooper, who will present Extra Mile Awards to Assistant Director of Engineering Thomas Hardy and Enterprise Fire Department Battalion Chief Brian Beasley. Mayor Cooper.
First, I would like to say good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
Today, we are recognizing the Assistant Director of Engineering Services, Thomas Hardy, and Enterprise Fire Department Battalion Chief, Brian Beasley. Earlier this year, the city adopted a new international building and fire codes. Both Thomas and Brian, along with a team of other employees, were instrumental in this process, educating staff and council about the effort to increase safety and building requirements throughout the city. Shortly after these codes were adopted, the city was contacted by an elderly resident who needed help regarding her living situation. The woman had no working air conditioning or heat in her home. Thomas worked diligently, citing the newly adopted property maintenance code. He was able to resolve the issue when the resident was provided the equipment needed, not only withstand the summer heat, but also the cold winter we expected. Brian also helped this particular resident when he went to her home and noticed a safety issue. Her sliding glass door was not able to be secured, resulting in a previous break-in while she was sleeping. Brian took it upon himself to find a solution, providing her with added security. The level of care these two men showed this particular resident is just one example of their desire to lead with servants' hearts. They not only care about the codes, but the people impacted by them. Thomas and Brian, the City Council and I commend you on your outstanding abilities and remarkable attention that you gave to our citizens. We are proud to have such outstanding individuals representing our city. Thank you for the examples y'all set in y'all's doing. God's richest blessings be upon you. Okay. We have the Extra Mile Award presented to Thomas Hardy by the Office of the Mayor, City of Enterprise, for going above and performing while performing your job duties. Dated this 21st day of November AD 2023. And of course, it is signed by Barry Mott, the city engineer, as well as William E. Cooper, mayor. Congratulations. Okay. This next Extra Mile Award goes to Brian Beasley, and it also reads by the Office of the Mayor, the City of Enterprise, for going above and beyond while performing your duties, and is also signed by your chief as well as the mayor. Congratulations. Yeah. Mayor, you want to say anything?
Yeah, before y'all leave, I thought y'all got away too quick. Come back. I just want to take a minute. These two guys, you talk about leadership in the city and doing the right thing for the citizens of the City of Enterprise. We looked at doing the city codes that were 2009, and we had a staff meeting talking about what the code should be. And the codes update every 3 years. So should we go from 09 to 12 or 15 or 18 or 21? And we were working through that, and we did the International Building Codes for 21 and adopted most of those codes. And it's because of these two guys, their leadership, to look through those and their staff. They weren't the only ones doing it, but they led from the engineering department and the fire department as well. But while they did that, they were also looking for what are the needs of the city, and they came across the property maintenance code. Property maintenance code, if you don't know, gives us a lot of tools in the city to make sure people keep their facilities up, safe, and clean. So they looked at that and said, this is a tool that we need in our toolbox. I'm the one that received a call from this elderly lady, sweet lady, and she said that I live upstairs in an apartment complex, and it's 100, 120 degrees in my apartment. The landlord won't do anything about it, and I don't know what to do. Is there anything the city can do to help me? And I called on Thomas and Chief Davis and Battalion Chief Brian Beasley, and I said, can we go meet with this lady? And we went and met with a lady, and it was hot in her place. I mean, it was extremely hot, very uncomfortable, and something that no one should have to live in. And I just want to commend the two of them. Thomas looked at the property maintenance code and worked with the landlord to hold them accountable to get that unit up and get it fixed for her. You'd walk in there and just immediately start sweating. Also, while we were there, the fire department was looking at safety issues. Noticed they didn't have smoke detectors and fire extinguishers. But also the lady brought up and said that she had been broken into not once, but multiple times through the back window of her apartment, had a sliding back glass, and Chief Beasley worked with her to get that door secured. So she now lives in a place that she's lived in for many, many years. She didn't want to move, but she has air conditioning and heat and in a secure facility. And she called me after the fact and said, those two men need to be commended for a job well done. Thank you so much. This is something very nice. I'm glad the city stepped up. So for the two of them, I just want to say thank you for your leadership. Thank you for what you did to bring that case. And then on the citizens that you help every single day, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Barry, and certainly congratulations to Mr. Hardy and Mr. Beasley, much deserved. We'll now move to the part of the meeting called Privilege of the Floor. This is affords anyone from the general public that is here this evening that wishes to address the council about anything that is not on our agenda, or that is on our agenda for that matter. You will be given 3 minutes if you wish to address the council. Is anyone here that wishes to take privilege of the floor? All right, seeing no one, we will move on to staff reports. Are there any staff reports? Billy?
Yes, Council President, other council members, Mayor, Jonathan, if you noticed earlier when you sat down, I set a piece of paper, or two pieces of paper at your desk.
Yep.
Dealing with pickleball, and I just wanted to bring this update to you all because today was an exciting day because I saw paint being put down on the courts. The front page, as you see, phase one is what we're working on. The dark gray area is part of the phase one. So as you can see, the gray courts, if you look at the second page, and you can see the paint in the outline of the pickleball courts with the fencing has been installed, not completely. You still have some gate work needs to be put up. But that's just the first coat. There'll be 2 coats total that will go over on top of those, be painted on those courts. The lights have been installed. Of course, they're not up and operating. We still have some time for they to complete it, but it's getting close. I think Barry and I had talked with the contractor, Beasley Construction, and possibility probably time they turn it over and we do the punch list and then whatever the city needs to do, we're looking around March time frame. Hopefully sooner, but that's right now we're projecting March to hopefully we can have these courts open and ready to be played on. So it's an exciting time, and I just wanted to bring this to you because this was done today, and Beasley Construction provided the aerial shots to us, and therefore I thought it'd be good to present it to you all today. So just kind of quick update with it. Right. Of course, we'll have more on other projects to come, but just want to give you a quick update on pickleball courts.
All right, thank you, Billy. I believe we've got a tour of the rec center at 9 o'clock tomorrow, is that right? Right.
That's correct, 9 a.m.
Any questions for Billy? All right, thanks, Billy. Any other staff reports that we didn't cover in our work session? All right, looks like we're good there. Moving on to old business, we will review and consider ordinance 120523, implementing of additional garbage fees. So I now call for consideration of ordinance 120523, implementing additional garbage fees as follows. Garbage fees for all residential and business customers beginning April 1st, 2024 shall increase by an additional $2.50 per month, and beginning January 1st, 2025 shall increase an additional $2.50 per month. The Consumer Price Index adjustment as set out in Section 1 of Ordinance 090622A shall continue to apply to garbage fees as modified by this ordinance. Do I hear a motion?
I move to adopt ordinance 120523.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 120523. Is there any additional discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll now review and consider ordinance 120523A, implementing additional sewer fees. I call for consideration of ordinance 120523A, implementing additional sewer fees as follows. Sewer rate fees for all residential and business customers beginning April 1st, 2024 shall increase by an additional flat fee of $2.50 per month for all accounts, plus an additional 15% increase on additional water usage over 2,000 gallons per month. Thereafter, beginning January 1, 2025, and each year thereafter, said sewer fee shall automatically increase by the amount equal to the percentage increase of the Consumer Price Index for all urban customers, CPI-U. For avoidance of doubt, it is the intention that Consumer Price Index, as set out in Section 1 of Ordinance 090622B, shall continue to apply to sewer fees as modified by this ordinance. Do I hear a motion?
I move to adopt ordinance 120523A.
Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 120523A. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion carries. We will now review and consider Resolution 121323A to grant additional pay to K-9 officers. I call for consideration of Resolution 121323A, providing to grant an additional $50 per pay period, less applicable withholding, for those Enterprise police officers who are assigned K-9s. Set additional sum for the care to the K-9s provided by the officers. Do I hear a motion?
I move to adopt Resolution 121323A.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 121323A. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now move on to new business. Introduce Planning Commission recommendations. Introduce for the record a recommendation from the Enterprise Planning Commission to approve the following request for the rezone of property. A request by Graceland Holdings, LLC, on behalf of Robert Pascal for the rezoning of 7.24 acres of land from AGR Agricultural District to B3 Highway Commercial District, located at 4437 Bowlville Circle. A request by Keith Laney for the rezoning of 1.85 acres of land from M1 Light Industry District to B3 Highway Commercial District, located at 131 South Industrial Boulevard. We'll now introduce ordinance 121923 regarding the Pascal rezone. I introduce ordinance 121923 providing for the rezone of 7.24 acres of land owned by Robert Pascal from AGR Agriculture District to B3 Highway Commercial District, located at 4437 Bowlville Circle. I also call for a public hearing to be held at the regular meeting scheduled for January 16th, 2024. No action will be taken on that this evening. I introduce ordinance 121923A, the Laney rezone. I introduce ordinance 121923A, providing for the rezone of 1.85 acres of land owned by Keith Laney from M1 Light Industry District to B3 Highway Commercial District, located at 131 South Industrial Boulevard. I also call for a public hearing to be held at the regular meeting scheduled for January 16th, 2024. No action will be taken on that this evening. We'll now review and consider Resolution 121923, the naming of Ray Helms Westside Community Park. I introduce and call for consideration of Resolution 121923, renaming the Westside Community Park to the Ray Helms Westside Community Park. Do I hear a motion?
I move to adopt resolution 121923.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 121923. Is there any discussion?
Ms. Charlene Goolsby, would you mind introducing Ray's wife and son there, please?
He's got something.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that, Mayor.
I would like to call the Helm family up, along with Ms. Goolsby and any family members.
I'm representing the Westside Neighborhood Association, trying to call them my name, okay? Just wanted you to know this, and I am going to come stand with you, all right?
Sure thing. All right. Proclamation, post humanity. Whereas Ray Helms was born August 6, 1943, to Noah and Della Helms, and whereas a dedicated husband and family man, Ray married the love of his life, Gail, and of this union 2 children, Brandon and Brian. Whereas Ray proudly served his country with the United States Army during the Vietnam era. After his retirement, Ray worked for the City of Enterprise for more than 30 years and graciously served the community. And whereas in the year of 2001, Westside Neighborhood Association was formed, and February of 2023, Ray presented preliminary drawings for improvement to the park on College Street. After several conversations with city leaders on August 16, 2006, the association dedicated a gazebo to the park. On September 12, 2011, the dedication was held for the pavilion, restrooms, a covered picnic area, and a small area with a sink and workspace area. Whereas Ray, being chairman of the park project, and was very knowledgeable in many areas of this construction progress, he worked tirelessly to accomplish this vision. Not only he had, but the community. Without Ray's leadership and expertise, and the committee and the Westside Neighborhood Park would not be what it is today. The park was hosted, made generations and citizens with parties, reunions, meetings, and more importantly, the children in the community. Now, therefore, I, William E. Cooper, Sr., Mayor of the City of Enterprise, Alabama, do hereby recognize Ray Helms for his contributions to the community of the City of Enterprise. In witness thereof, I hereby set my hand and cause the seal of the great City of Enterprise to be affixed the 19th day of December, 2023.
Thank you so much. And this is Gail Helms and Brian, and they have a daughter is living with her military husband and grandchildren in Washington. State. I got it right, Washington State. We have been wanting to do this for a few years, and because Ray passed away a little over 3 years ago, and Billy Powell probably needs to come and stand with us right here also, because Billy Powell and Ray worked together so closely. And if you missed the last meeting when we were here, we told a little bit more about some of the things that Ray had done. Ray Helms, and we thought about, Billy and I talked about how active he was in the West Side community and all that he had done to bring this park to make it what it is today. And he worked with Tommy Johnson Jr. also, who was our city councilman in District 2 at the time. But when we had the tornado in 2007, Ray Helms, his good friend Janine Roberts, stayed at the park for 6 weeks, serving food to the people in our community, and not only community, but they served food to other and serve not only to the people in the community, but they also did this to a lot of the first responders, our policemen and firemen, our outside of town people who came to help us during that time. And Ray Helms was there for 6 weeks. And we feel like that this gesture tonight and this tribute we're doing to Ray Helms is long overdue. And we love you, your family also, the family, Gail and Brian, for sharing your husband and your father with us to be there and kind of help our community and that part. We also thank First Baptist Church of Enterprise, because many, many years ago, they actually owned the property. It was given to First Baptist Church to build a mission of that property. And we have a long-term lease that was negotiated back in 2003 each year. So we really thank First Baptist Church for giving us that lease so that the city could use some public funds. And we've also contributed private funds from our neighborhood association. Billy?
No, well said. Congratulations. It's our honor to be able to do this.
Yes, it is.
And council, thank you all for approving this as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, Billy.
All right, thank you all for that. So is there any Any further discussion? We do have a motion on the floor. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations. All right, we'll now authorize the mayor to execute contracts from the Ardura Group Incorporated regarding the wastewater treatment facility upgrades. I call for a motion to authorize the mayor to execute contracts with review of the city attorney with the Ardura Group Incorporated for planning, engineering design, and facility upgrades at the city's wastewater treatment facilities. Do I hear a motion?
Move to authorize the mayor to execute the contract documents with Ardura Group Incorporated upon review by the city attorney.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to authorize the mayor to execute these contracts. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We now consider authorizing the mayor to execute drainage system work agreements regarding the Stone Chase subdivision. I call for a motion to authorize the mayor to execute drainage work agreements with Coffee County and others related to drainage work associated with the stormwater systems in Stone Chase subdivision. Do I hear a motion?
I move to authorize the mayor to execute the agreements as submitted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to authorize the mayor to execute these agreements. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll now consider authorizing the mayor to execute grant agreement with Alabama Power Foundation regarding the fire department. Call for a motion to accept $11,020 in grant funds from the Alabama Power Foundation and authorize the mayor to execute the grant agreement as submitted. The Enterprise Fire Department will utilize the funding to purchase an inflatable fire safety training house to educate children and adults about fire prevention measures. Do I hear a motion?
I move to accept the grant funds and authorize the mayor to execute the grant agreement as submitted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to authorize the mayor to execute this grant agreement. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll now consider authorizing the mayor to enter into underwriter engagement letter with the Fraser Lanier Company Incorporated. I call for a motion to authorize the mayor to execute an underwriter engagement letter with the Fraser Lanier Company Incorporated dated December 11th, 2023 as submitted, related to a potential economic development bond transaction. Do I hear a motion?
Move to authorize the mayor to execute the agreement letter.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to authorize the mayor to enter into this engagement letter. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll now review and consider the street lighting modification out at Tartan Pines subdivision for Phase 4. I introduce and call for consideration of a request from Assistant Director of Engineering Thomas Hardy to install the following street lights at an annual cost of $841. 9 49-watt LED fixtures and poles in Tartan Pines subdivision Phase 4. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the street lighting request as submitted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the street lighting request. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll now consider a request of permission to seek bids from the police department regarding some vehicles. I introduce and call for consideration of a request from Police Chief Michael Moore to seek bids for 3 2024 Dodge Durango Pursuit Package all-wheel drive vehicles or 3 2024 Dodge Charger Police Package all-wheel drive vehicles or a combination of both. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the request, seek bids as submitted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the request to seek bids as submitted. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll now introduce an ABC license request from Audi 96. I introduce a request from Audi Incorporated, Alabama, DBA Audi 96, for a retail beer, off-premise only license and retail wine, off-premise only license located at 630 Bowleville Circle, and call for a public hearing to be held at the regular meeting scheduled for January 2nd, 2024. No action on that tonight. Mayor, do you have a report for us?
Thank you, Mr. President. Congratulations again to Thomas and Brian. Thank you for the example you set for others, and thank you again for going the extra mile for our citizens. Thank you to the Helms family for joining us tonight. We look forward to working with you with the Westside Community Association to rename the park in honor of Ray. A special thank you to all of those volunteers and the city staff who worked to pull off another successful Whoville celebration in downtown Enterprise. Despite the rain, we still had quite a festive day. Don't forget to stay up to date with what's happening in our city by following us on Facebook or visiting the city website. And finally, I want to remind everyone to be safe this holiday season. Please enjoy this time for your family and friends. Wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and a joyous and prosperous Happy New Year. Thank you.
Ms. Rich?
I almost hate to go first because they're going to say I said everything, but I think they'd be halfway trying to say I talk too much, but that's okay. So I want to congratulate our staff, Thomas and Brian. I'm truly grateful for these new property management codes. The lady that they're referring to reached out to me, and I literally made one call and never had to really doing it. I mean, they have just done an exceptional good job, and the thoroughness that our staff provides to us has really been exceptional to keep our citizens safe. So we're grateful for that. Congratulations to the Helms family. That's quite a legacy that's going to continue here in our city. I want to encourage people that if you don't access our public library, to do so. I haven't in many, many, many years. So I decided I wanted to read again. And what a mistake that was. I checked out 2 books. They're overdue. I have renewed them twice, and they're still overdue. I got $1.10 I got to pay, but I'm going to read them. And I encourage you to go to our library and check out some books. It was quite an experience. And I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Mr. Goolsbee?
Well, I think Sonia did say it all.
See?
But I would also like to congratulate all of our city employees. Thank you for the job that you do. And the Helms family, thank y'all for coming tonight. I'm so glad this has been taken care of. Wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Mr. Paget?
Well, since Sonia said it all, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Mr. Johnson?
Should I say Sonia said it all
Go
too?
ahead and say it.
No, thank you everyone for coming tonight. Thank you for all those citizens that are watching us live on YouTube. Congratulations, Thomas and Brian. I'm glad I work with you every day. It's a privilege to be out there, work with you all and all other great city workers. The Helms family, congratulations. Thank you. He was truly a wonderful man. God bless everybody. Have a wonderful Merry Christmas and a very happy, safe New Year.
Sonia, I'll spare the Auburn graduate reading jokes because I'm also an Auburn graduate, so I'm glad to see you using your education to read those books. But like they said, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. Thank everybody for coming out. Certainly, congratulations to Thomas and Brian, Helms family, much deserved. We are adjourned until after the New Year.